SA Sports Show. One of our favourites, of course. We haven't had him in for a while. Yes, of course. We're talking about Freddie Zziwa and his coach, Mark Nethercott. But, hey, welcome, fellas.
Thank you.
You know when someone walks into the room and they just bring energy and they light you up and you can't wait to have a chat with them? Freddie's that kind of guy, mate. And I don't say that because you're sitting here. You just do. You generate energy walking in, mate. So, just got back from overseas, mate. We were talking about it before we came on air. Silver for you. Well done, mate, fighting in Hungary. What was the tournament like for you?
The tournament was really good. Like the experience was really huge. Not only that, having like different style of boxers and totally, you know, the coaching and the environment, it just makes you just to realize how boxing is and how big can get and how experienced you can get when you go into different, you know, different countries.
Okay, so over 3 rounds, because it's only 3 rounds, and I always say, Phil, no one knows what 3 minutes is like until you actually spend that 3 minutes in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's a long time. But when you're going against these guys and it's only 3 rounds, it's so important, if you've never seen them fight before, that you get the points on the board early. You've got to start well and not have to come from behind, if you like.
I mean, you can, actually. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but actually you can.
Yes, you are.
You can use your, like for me, the way I do it, I go in, the first second probably I'm going to lose them, or the first minute of the round, but I'm not going to engage too much. I'm just going to see, look at him, how strong he is, like, you know what I mean? Like, his footwork, how he moves, how he saw his punches. And then after that, it's game over.
You
because
I
know what everything I have to do to him, and then I manage to win or to do pretty good.
He normally knocks him down in the first round, though. He's playing it pretty quiet. I sum him up for the first minute, then I'll knock him down. I'll give him a minute so he looks good, then I'll get him. Hey, for you, though, mate, the preparation, because he's touched on it, Freddie's touched on it, you don't see the fighter before you get there. So most of the focus, I imagine, is on him and what he does. Is that tough for you, preparing him, not knowing what's coming?
I think working with Fred isn't really tough at all, because you know, Fred does pretty much everything I ask of him. So what's really rewarding is if we train a specific drill, like a slip and rip or you know, a bob and counter drill. What's really rewarding is seeing when Fred executes that in his matches. So to know that we've probably practiced it, you know, 1,000 or thousands of times, and then he goes in and does it. That's probably the rewarding part. So yeah, we tend to focus on what Fred does, and he generally does it most of the time, which is
so,
really
mate,
good.
you've got a teaching background, so you've got a job, got to work a job. Do you get a chance to travel with Freddie when he goes to these tournaments, or it's more we're zooming and, you know, kind of correcting after?
So generally when he travels with the state or national teams, he'll go with the state or national coaches. So his last tournament in Europe, we spoke over the phone, we did some video reviews after each match, and I sent that through to Fred. So yeah, with technology these days, that made it really easy to, you know, work on what he did really well in his match, what we can work on for the next one, and then of course he would go and hopefully deliver on that.
Yeah, because you're interested, the coach is always in the corner as much, and understand the dynamics and the expense and all that. But with technology, I'm starting to wonder now, obviously the best case scenario is that you're there, but is there an opportunity if you're not there to be wired up to someone and saying, listen, just tell Freddie to do this or do that, or that's not quite there yet? That
not quite there yet, and I'm not sure what the rulings would state, you know, whether that technology would be allowed in the corners anyway, so might not be far off.
What did you learn, Freddie? When you come back, silver medalist, you come back and you go, okay, these are the areas I need to work on. What's a couple of things you thought you could work on?
Well, I noticed myself that I'm strong inside, not only that all my opponent, like I give them like hard times. The only thing I wanted to work on footwork, like, you know, be really quick on my foot and a little bit of angles, and I've been working on that since I left the trip, so that when I get to the same opponent like that, I'll be able to manage.
So are you better on the dance floor now, mate? That your footwork's got quicker?
Too good.
Too good, mate. Hey, mate, I know, and we're delicate about asking this question, mate, for a whole range of reasons, but you've got your citizenship now, and you're waiting for permanent residency, which hopefully all the right channels are being ticked and it's moving along.
Hopefully.
Maybe a chance, the trials are coming up, you get through the trials and Paris is dangling in 2024. Can you see that, mate, or you just got to focus on where I am right now?
Well, I'm just focusing day by day right now because, to be honest, that's like a really big project, and I just don't know how I can even manage it. So if I think about it too much, probably I'll get headaches. I prefer not to like to think about it too much and just focus on what I can control, which is I can do my training and, you know, stuff like, and my work. But then if it comes to the visa, I try to do like the requirements needed. Like if they want me, like they want anything needed, I try to do to make sure like I do it. I do my best. But that's like a really big project, and I'm just really.
It's such a small window, isn't it? The opportunity here now. We've got an opportunity. Mate, what if it doesn't happen? If that doesn't happen now, and Fred doesn't make the national titles, that could probably damage his Olympic dream. What happens? Where do we go?
So we've sort of been talking. We've got Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. So while there's a small window of opportunity, we'll explore those options and work with the stakeholders to see if we can get that to happen. If that doesn't happen, there's no question Fred will transition to the professional ranks, which is really exciting in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look, we've also got 2028 as well. So now with the opportunities for athletes to come back to the amateurs, Fred might decide he'd like to have a crack at the trials in 2028. So we've got a few options. We'll just have to see how they play out over the next sort of couple of months, I guess.
Okay. 2028 seems a long way away, mate. 3 weeks though. We've got a Super Series, Super 8 going on in Perth, mate. How's the form looking for that? Because we've travelled a lot too, mate. So you've had to deal with some travelling, some fighting, recovery, and then 3 weeks we're at it again.
Yeah, well, Fred's form's, he won the club champs a couple of weeks ago by stoppage in the final against a quality opponent. So his form's pretty good. He'll go over in the 60 kilo division again. He'll have 3 matches in 3 days. So, I think Fred's a good chance of taking that out. There'll be some quality opponents there, no doubt. But Fred, as always, has put in the hard work. So I think he'll do well.
Can you believe the journey so far from you, mate? Come from Uganda to Australia. A 2-year-old son now too, of course, and hard to work as a chef, mate, while you're doing all this boxing. So maybe we need to get some big sponsors into back Freddie. But it's been an amazing life journey for you as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really definitely 100%. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I never see myself being on this level. Like, not only that, being right here, or think about like boxing when I was a kid. It's everything. I guess when you grow up, things change, and I'm just really glad that I took on boxing.
I reckon it was soccer. Was it soccer that you played in Uganda before you came out?
Even here I played soccer here.
So to go from soccer to boxing, it's not what you go. Those kind of line up with each other. Yeah. So
true. It's a different thing, but I guess when you grow up, you kind of if you want to change, I guess you can change, and if you want to do good for your life, I think you can take any challenge. So
mate, I know we're getting the wind up, but I need to ask this question. So I apologise to you, mate, on the floor trying to get us to wind up. But mate, you've got such a gregarious personality. You're such a lovable guy, and it's hard to see how you switch that off and then get into the ring with the killer mindset. How do you shut that bit off to get to that bit?
Well, it's one thing. You just like a human being, you just have to have like a survival mode, where, for example, if you go in the forest, you go one chair, you need to survive the lions or whatever it's there. It's me. When I'm in the ring, I'm pretty sure my opponent wanna take my head off, which I'm like, I need to survive somehow. Like, I get scared, but I'll be like, all right, you wanna take my head off? I guess before you take mine, I have to take his, and then like simple as that. It's not about the skills. It's about how nothing comes on how bad you want it. You know what I mean? Like, actually I need to win this so bad. That's it. You just need to say that, and no joke. Somehow you change into something and be like, I think I can do it. Sometimes you get bad luck and don't win, or you don't get the decision. But at least even your opponent is like, I think that was tough. Like, I realised how tough it was.
Clearly, we took the easy option. We decided not to go in the forest where the lions were and not to go in the ring with the bloke who killed me off.
Good idea. Very quickly, the Cootie Shack. That's where you're a chef at?
Yeah, I work there, yeah.
At the Cootie Shack, yeah. They look after you?
Yeah, they're pretty
They look after Phil and I when we go down there?
100%. Come down.
We're not coming down there until you're working, mate. So
you eat whatever they give you.
Hey, Freddie, mate, really appreciate your time, mate. Hope the Super 8 in a couple of weeks is fantastic. No doubt you'll be knocking some people down. Get on, Freddie. He is an absolute superstar. Stay with us.